Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my acoustic pedalboard setup. I've made some upgrades since the last video. So I posted a video about coming up 3 months ago showing my pedalboard that I use for my acoustic solo gigs. And it got a pretty good response. At the moment, it's sitting on about 40,000 views. So clearly a lot of people want to set up an acoustic pedalboard. This is something which is quite a popular topic. So since then, I have made some upgrades. I have expanded the board and I've made some changes to it. And that is what I want to talk about today. So let me show you the board. So here we are. Here we have it. My current pedalboard. It is a fair bit bigger than the one I was using before. Now, I had to get a larger board. So at the moment, I'm currently using the Harley Benton board, and I had to upgrade from the Palmer 40, which I was using before. Now this one is a bit longer, can fit another couple of pedals on it, and it's also a bit deeper. So there is more space between the pedals, because what was happening before was sometimes when I went to hit one of the pedals, it would actually change some of the settings on the pedal below it. So I wanted to create a little bit more of a gap so that wouldn't happen. That is one of the additions I've made. I've also had to upgrade my power supply. I went for the Fender Engine Room Level 8. So before this, I was using the True Tone CH7 One Spot Pro. And although that is a great power supply, it is about 15 years old, so a little bit out of date. And this has some really nice features on it as well. Each of these 9-volt outputs has 500 milliamps, so this can comfortably power most pedals. And also on the last two, you can adjust between 9-volt, 12-volt, and 18-volt. It's got a USB-A, and it's also got a USB-C output as well, which I think is quite cool. A great power supply. I'd highly recommend this one. It cost me about £130. And it was a necessary upgrade because I needed an extra output as well. So let's start from the input. So I would plug my guitar into here, into the octave pedal. This creates a really great bass guitar sound. Great pedal for acoustic guitarists and electric, but for my solo set, I like to do a lot of looping, and this is great at replicating a bass guitar. This Smolder overdrive pedal is a recent addition. It provides a nice amount of overdrive without being over the top or distorted, which is perfect for acoustic guitar. And it's great for lead playing. That's what I mostly use it for, with a little bit of a, like a level boost as well. I then have the Fishman Platinum Pro EQ. Like I mentioned in the previous video about my pedal board, this is fantastic for just sculpting the EQ live. It also has a built-in compressor. It also has a 3 decibel boost as well, which is great if you want to emphasize some parts. It has a built-in tuner, and it has a low cut as well, so you can cut out any muddiness which you have, and it is just an awesome pedal. I have the guitar going into the octave, the overdrive, into this, and then into the looper. This is the Boss RC500 loop station. I was playing the RC1. I've been playing that for the last, year and a half or so. I only started gigging with a loop pedal when I came back from Australia about a year and a half ago. I thought it would just add something to my set, and it definitely did. Totally really happy that I started looping. But I felt like after using the RC1 for about a year, it had its limitations. In order to stop the loop, you had to click it twice, which is kind of annoying. It only had a single track as well. And also it had no way of looping microphone vocals, and this does. And this also has MIDI in as well. So if you want to put in like a drum machine or something like that, or a keyboard, you can loop MIDI instruments with this as well. I was torn between getting the RC500 or the RC600, but I went with the 500 because as a solo performer, I only really want to loop guitar and vocals, and maybe a drum machine which would go in the MIDI. So I think 2 tracks is definitely enough for me. I don't need more than that. So the RC600, although you can do a lot with it, for me it would have been overkill, and it is also an absolute beast. It's like the size of a skateboard. So this just fitted nicely on the board, and I gigged it for the first time last night, and I think the sound recording is actually a little bit clearer on this than it was on the RC1 as well. And it's so nice just having a one button, a one press stop as well, not having to time it and click it twice like on the RC1. So definitely happy with this. I'm looking forward to improving my skills with the RC500 as time goes on. And then we have these 3 pedals. So what I have started doing now, which I wasn't doing in the previous video about my pedal board, is I've started using the effects send and return in the Fishman. So these 3 pedals are in the effects loop. It comes out of the effects send, comes in to the super chorus. This I leave on most of the time when I'm playing rhythm. It just gives a really nice kind of like 80s feel to the clean tone. I just like it, gives it a bit of a sparkle, bit of a shimmer. I like having a subtle chorus on when I'm playing clean acoustic rhythm guitar. And then that goes into the MXR delay. Again, I have this kind of subtle, it's almost like a slapback delay. It's an analog delay, so you can adjust the time, the tempo of the delay with it, where it doesn't have a tempo tap like, let's say, the Boss digital delay. But I really like the sound of the MXR carbon copy, and it just softens everything. Having a little delay on there, delay with a bit of reverb, it just makes everything a little bit less harsh and adds a bit of ambience to it, as long as it's not over the top. Then the delay goes into the Cloudburst by Strymon. This is an awesome reverb pedal. It can do a lot of things. I generally have it set on quite a subtle reverb, kind of like a hall sounding reverb, quite natural. But it does have this ensemble setting, which kind of makes it sound like an orchestra is playing behind you. And yeah, and then I put it back into the effects return. So these are at the front, and these are in the effects loop. Another addition since that last video, which is not guitar related, it's actually vocal related. I've added the TC Electronic mic mechanic. So I was gonna go with the TC Electronic harmonizer pedal, but after doing a little bit of shopping around and some research, I decided to go with the mic mechanic. The mic mechanic doesn't have a harmonizer, but it has an echo and it has a reverb, and it just gives like the perfect amount of reverb and ambience to your voice. It just takes the dryness out of the vocal. It does have a pitch correction. I don't use that. I leave that rolled off completely. And then it has this tone button, and it's kind of like a low cut filter as well. So it takes the muddiness, it gives it a slight boost. And I would highly recommend this for if you're a vocalist, if you're performing in a band, or if you're performing solo. The mic mechanic has definitely added a lot of clarity to my vocals. So this has been an awesome addition. I'm gonna give you a little demo so you can hear what this sounds like. Hope you enjoy. All right, so let's start off on the guitar end. We have our octave. I really love this. Highly recommend this for any guitar player. And then we have our Smolder Acoustic OD, clean signal. You can see it just really adds a lot of boost and a bit of overdrive, but not over the top. And then we have our Platinum EQ. I've got a little bit of compression, a little bit of a low cut. I tend to roll off the treble a little bit, keep the bass at about 12 o'clock and boost the mids slightly, and then add a bit of brilliance to it for that shimmer and sparkle. Keep the volume on 12 o'clock for this. Here is the tuner. Just does what a tuner's supposed to do. And then a boost. Just gives it a nice 3 decibel boost. It's on, off. So again, great for solos. That's why I have these two next to each other. They work really nicely combined for a solo. Come on. So, great for solos. And then I run the send from the Fishman into the super chorus. Little bit of a sparkle. You can hear it there. Doing what a chorus should do. And then the MXR. Yeah, nice slap back delay. Lovely. Love that pedal. And then we have the beautiful cloudburst. Off. On. Quite subtle, but you can hear that nice trail off. It's lovely reverb. Beautiful. And then you can turn the ensemble on. Cool, that is the cloudburst, producing some shimmering tones. And then we have the looper. So let's create a simple loop. Let's turn on these three. Okay, so let's make a simple loop. And we're looping. You can see it counts to 4 on the screen. And the click has synced up with the loop as well. Let's add some bass to it. Let's turn these off. Got the octave on. Stop. We got some bass. This is all on the first channel. Alright, so let's switch. Actually, let's record some vocal overdub. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Now let's record some vocal. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's add a harmony onto that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let's switch channels now. So now we're on the second track. We're gonna make a beat, a rhythm. Let's put the octave on. Nice. Okay. Let's add a little reverb and play some hi-hat. Maybe a bit of delay as well. Okay, now we have a nice loop. So what we're gonna do is switch back to the track we recorded the guitar on, and then we can drop this out for a verse, like, but keep the beat going. Back in. Beautiful. Sound like a song, right? Drop it out again. And then stop it all together. There we have it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this demo of my awesome pedal board. Maybe it will change again. I'm sure I'll make some upgrades in the future, but for now, I'm very happy with it. One thing I would say is the buttons are quite close together on the RC500, so I'll probably look into getting a external foot switch. There's one by Boss called the RS6, which is a dual foot switch, so I can assign the record and stop buttons to that, so I can have them separate to the board more in front of me where I'll naturally be standing, and it will mean less chance of pressing any buttons that I don't want to. So aside from that, I'm really happy with how this sounds. I've been working on this board for about a year and a half now, and I finally got to the point where I'm really happy with the sound. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and also if you want to get any of these pedals, they are in the link in the description of this video. I will get a little affiliate kickback from that, but it supports the channel. So if you enjoyed the video, stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.